Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Sigma Live Hangout. Today we're going to learn more about CAD, Cyprus Academic Dialogue. With us we have two of the members of the organization, Esra Igan and Kostas Kostandi. Obviously from the names, a Greek Cypriot and a Turkish Cypriot. So what is CAD?
Well, Cyprus Academic Dialogue is a collaboration of Greek and Turkish Cypriots as well as friends in Greece and Turkey and across the globe who are working together, trying to find alternative solution parameters for the Cyprus problem, trying to find ways to build confidence building measures between the communities, trying to create a platform for dialogue between the people. It's not like the name insinuates, it's not just academics discussing.
It would have been my next question.
Yeah.
Academic implies that it's on an academic level with professors on a...
Yeah. Initially, back in 2009, that's how it started. There was a professor, a Greek Cypriot from Melbourne in Australia, who came to Cyprus and said he wanted to create this NGO. He did. It's taken its own wings to become quite independent since then. It began as academics, but then we opened it up to basically anyone who agreed to the values of CAD. So at the moment we have NGOs, civil society workers, we have academics obviously, we've got people that are just journalists,
yeah.
poets.
So what are the values of CAD? You said anyone who's open and subscribes to the values of CAD. What are the values of CAD?
Well, we are doing a lot of work and we are supporting, of course, reconciliation, tolerance between the two communities, increasing awareness and understanding each other's fears, desires, concerns, being in touch with each other. So anything that is to do with the two communities coming together, understanding each other, starting to communicate with each other, those are our values and those are what we are trying to do and support.
May I add to that? One of the aims of the Cyprus Academic Dialogue as well is to be a bridge between not just Greek and Turkish Cypriots and the other groups of Cyprus, but between, intercommunal. So basically bringing left-wing party to right-wing party, hardliners against doves and so forth, trying to bring communication up because fear creates intolerance.
Right.
But by people getting to know each other and different values, there's dialogue and it works.
The thing is, most NGOs that are working towards reconciliation and getting people back together, this is what everyone says. What differentiates CAD from every other NGO? Anyone?
I will just say one thing and then
Yeah.
let you take. I mean, I think what differentiates us, one of the things that differentiates us is that we do a lot of work with in Turkey and in Greece too. So we are trying to bring in people from Turkey, even from official levels, and Greece, and that has been very interesting and successful. I think that is one of the things that really differentiates.
Well, yeah,
us.
what really stands out about CAD versus other NGOs, which, by the way, they're all fantastic and we work with everybody and we support everybody. We also play devil's advocate in the sense that we hear the opinions of those that may be against what we say or that might be termed hardliners or anti-solution and things like that. And we engage them because they also have their fears, they've got their concerns and they're legitimate and they're valid and they're allowed to have them. And it's just a matter of actually having somebody to voice those opinions, hear them, engage them, dialogue, and maybe change their mind, or maybe we adapt our policy according to what they say. But the other thing, adding to what Ezra said, CAD is the only NGO to have ever engaged, the only NGO with Greek Cypriots involved, to engage the Cyprus desk at the Turkish Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We were there in Ankara in February this year. We had the head of the Cyprus desk there. He was listening to CAD, he was engaging with CAD. What influence it's had, we don't know. But we can definitely say that there's been inroads made in Turkey.
We had many Turkish diplomats around the table. And the beauty of that was Greek and Turkish Cypriots were, as a team, talking as one,
Yeah.
as Cyprus, and that was one of the things that really
I think that took the Turkish
Yes.
audience by surprise.
because
Yeah.
That you all went as one voice, as
Cypriots,
Cyprus.
yeah.
and it wasn't even like, okay, we will sit there and we will speak as one. We didn't even have
No.
such a, agreement beforehand, but it happened so that we were there. We were each, taking the microphone and saying things and voicing opinions. And from the way it all developed, it was CAD, Turkish Cypriots and Greek Cypriots as one voice for Cyprus, talking to Turkey, which
But
was
also not just to Turkey.
Not
but
just Turkey, but-
in July this year we went to Corfu,
Of course,
and we
yes,
took
we
the
have.
two negotiators, the Greek Cypriot and Turkish Cypriot negotiators. We took them to Corfu, and as a Cypriot bloc, we spoke with them, engaged with them, gave them suggestions, heard what they had to say.
But why in Corfu and not somewhere in Cyprus?
Well, it was a case of we wanted a neutral spot. CAD was going already to Corfu for something else. So it was a convenient place to convene basically without the outside world looking in, without the Cypriot media watching. There was nothing to hide. It was fully transparent. But I mean, it was just a way to...
I'm asking because a lot of people would have said, why in Greece and not, let's say, in Turkey, or why not in Cyprus, especially because it was
Yeah.
Turkish Cypriot, the Turkish Cypriot and Greek Cypriot negotiator, why not in Cyprus?
Well, we all know that the negotiators, they've been to Malta, they've been in the UK, they've been in South Africa, they've been all over the world. Greece or Turkey, it's a location. There was nothing political behind it.
nothing political. We try to do all actually when we have a chance. We are
Yeah.
trying to be neutral in that sense too. And as Costa said, we don't have any taboos. We are taking up any opinion, anything that needs to be put out there and discussed. We are doing that at every opportunity that we have.
So none of you are academics. So you're a journalist and you
Right.
work in a...
I'm a political advisor and I do research on the Cyprus problem, on
But you're not an
interregional-
academic.
Not an academic, no.
So you obviously were not from the founding or first members of CAD. You went in when CAD was already working, producing. How was it when you first met?
When we met with CAD,
No, when you met with each other, two Cypriots, a Turkish Cypriot and a Greek Cypriot, in an environment, well, built for academics, and you were not academics, and you met each other for the first time in an effort to get to a common goal, to the same goal. But how was it on the ground, meeting each other for the first time?
Well, I think I have so many Greek Cypriot friends on a personal basis, just friends or my work environment. So, I mean, when I come together with people, within the CAD environment or any other environment, I don't anymore make the distinction of, Costa is a Greek Cypriot. I mean, it's that we are working towards a shared goal. We have the same concerns for our country. We have similar objectives. So we are just two comparatively young Cypriots.
well, it is in our hands. Whatever happens from here, it's up to us. We have to hold on to it.
Working towards a better future for Cyprus. So I have never. I mean, I don't make that distinction anymore. And
Well,
I think we
actually
never
maybe we're failing a little because the fact that this question even gets asked still in 2015.
Yeah.
It
No,
means
the thing is-
no, but I mean the Cyprus problem still exists to a point where that is a
Exactly,
novelty.
and you get people like I talked to both Turkish Cypriots and Greek Cypriots, and they're both willing to get involved in NGOs.
Yeah.
But there's always a fear: how will it be like when I have to actually address important problems? Because day-to-day stuff, we can work it out between us anyway.
Yep.
I can say I love your dress, and I can say let's go out for drinks. But then, if we are in an environment that we have to address the problems, then you tend, even if you don't want to, you tend to see your counterpart as the other. That's why I'm posing the questions.
Yeah.
So maybe we can answer to people that are maybe thinking of joining an NGO. What an experience would that be, and how to get over it, past it?
Well, one thing that they should think of first of all is, do they want someone else to do it for them? Because I mean, if you are not involved in civil society in general, then basically people are going to make decisions for you. People are going to choose your destiny.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you're just going to turn up one day, whether it's a Cyprus problem, you turn up for one day to vote yes or no in a referendum, or whether it's for, animal welfare or
Passive citizen.
you're a passive citizen. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. You're allowed to be, it's your democratic right. But by being involved, whether you like it or not, you unconsciously end up engaging and making that difference, because you talk about your issues, you engage your friends and your peers, and you basically are making that change without even trying, to be honest with you. We're not asking anyone to go stand outside Parliament or stand on the street with placards, or there's none of that. It's a lot easier than people realize. And I think Cyprus civil society activism is very new. It's very new.
It is.
But I mean, it's archaic in the Western world. It's archaic. I mean, we have a lot of catching up to do, and I think we're getting there.
And I think you would be surprised at how actually easy it is even to address and talk about even the most controversial issues. You might think something is very controversial or a taboo, but usually people who are involved in civil society, in NGOs like CAD, are very open-minded, and they are there to discuss and address all of the issues that may make people uncomfortable or maybe difficult to talk about. But we are there to talk about these things. So actually it is a very suitable environment for people who would be, not very comfortable voicing their opinions in another media or channel, but civil society is the perfect place, because the people who are there are already there with an open mind and open perspective to discuss all these things.
And is CAD open to non-members? Let's say, do you do groundwork for people that are not involved in NGOs? Let's say events downtown or
yeah, we have panels, we have seminars, we have conferences, we have people writing op-eds in newspapers. Now and then we have press statements. We have a Facebook page which is quite active. People are more than welcome to engage there, and they do. But look, we are always willing to take on suggestions. I mean, one of the things we like is when people from the outside come in and say, I've got this idea, or I don't like that. That's what we're there for. We're not a political party.
It was just a few weeks ago that the two leaders said that they're going to create a committee on education to get younger people involved and knowledgeable about Cyprus as a whole. Have you ever considered doing stuff for younger ages? Because it's one thing talking to people and addressing issues with people that are open-minded and of the same age and have some experience or have clear views or want to have clear views on where they're going. But have you tried, or is it in your plans to go to younger ages? Yeah. You're both parents, and I guess you're doing it firstly for your children. Have you thought about that?
Well, it's actually one of our pillars. I mean, from day one, myself included, there's been members of CAD that have been involved in the Association for Historical Dialogue and Research, the Home for Cooperation, and a raft of other NGOs that are working on education packages. We even had a conference, I can't remember if it was last December or the December before. It was an education conference on how to teach objective teaching in schools in Cyprus, how to teach students to think for themselves, research for themselves, look on the other side of the page. That's something that we heavily support. And we have actually, it's quite good to see that in a lot of our events, one of the primary audience members, makeup of the audience, is teachers. From high schools usually, but that surprises us. It's very good to see. And these are public sector teachers, so there's a need there, there's a demand, so even actually we've had priests and bishops turn up to events as well, because there's some there that want to blow open the gates of education and talk about alternatives, and that's
really important.
It is.
I was actually talking though about maybe making events for younger children, getting non-Greek speakers and non-Turkish speakers together, maybe drawing or making a puzzle, just to get them together at such a young age that they don't realize that they're different from the other.
No, I mean, that's a good suggestion. But I
Yes,
think,
definitely.
I think, well, look, CAD can do that, but I mean, I know that there are other NGOs that are already doing that. You have peace players, for example, playing basketball. You have the NGO Support Center, the Mediterranean Institute. There's a lot doing this. So, personally, I wouldn't be the one to organize something like that. But
We can, yes.
it's definitely
Yeah.
something that we can take on, definitely.
Well, there's a lot of work to be done,
There
and
is.
obviously
A lot, yeah.
you feel the strive to do it, the drive to do it.
Yeah.
I wish you luck and strength to keep on doing what you're doing. I wish the best
Thank
of
you.
luck for
Thank you.
CAD.
Thank
You
you.
said of your Facebook page, your website, and well, anyone who wants can reach you quite easily
Yes.
and
Yes.
get their opinions out there just to get an answer.
We would be very happy. Yes.
You can find us CAD Cyprus. So it's www.facebook.com/CAD Cyprus.
Thank you so much for
Thank
your
you.
time,
Thank you.
Thanks.
and thank you for watching.